clients look to us as best-in-class stock pickers. That is what we are through and through. We provide very in-depth fundamental research in order to provide a bit of differentiation from just your broad, passive global equity exposure. We're going to look and behave very different than broad market exposure. This is an actively managed, concentrated portfolio that, again, is benchmark agnostic. It's a collection of idiosyncratic investment ideas. At the end of the day, an index is merely a collection of thousands of businesses at any point in time. We, on the other hand, are thinking of ourselves as owners of a business. And I think because of our focus on valuation and quality characteristics, the portfolio can be used as a dedicated value exposure, say to complement or offset balance exposure to a growth strategy, or it can simply be used as a core global equity holding. We certainly have clients who look to us for that, given our emphasis and focus on business quality. This is a very experienced, stable team with a demonstrated long-term track record. This is a time-tested process. It's been tested since 2007. It's a highly repeatable process. We're looking for 4 very clear characteristics in any business that we own. Just because it's simple doesn't necessarily mean it's easy to execute, but it means that it is repeatable. In terms of going a little bit deeper into our investment process, maybe it's helpful to walk a bit through idea generation up until potentially buying a position in the portfolio. Ideas can come from a multitude of different areas. The team does meet in a full research team meeting every single Thursday with the primary purpose to review screens. That's more in place to make sure that nothing is falling through the cracks, to make sure that we're not missing anything. We're screening for things at the intersection of attractive valuation and quality characteristics and financial strength. But really, a lot of ideas come from the natural ground we're covering from a research standpoint, leaving no stone unturned, being intellectually curious, traveling around the world, meeting with management teams, meeting with competitors, suppliers of businesses that we own. Everyone on the team is incentivized to cover as much ground as they possibly can from a research standpoint. Another nice source of ideas is the massive database that we have of research notes. We have a very writing-intensive research culture where any touch point, any business that you study, any meeting with management team, you have to write up and publish a note, and that note ultimately gets recorded into our database. And so we have a vast repository of notes going back to inception in 2007 on thousands of businesses. And that can serve as a nice source of ideas of, say, businesses that we've studied and admired in the past that meet our criteria, except perhaps for evaluation. And we can go back and quickly update our work once given the opportunity to purchase that name if it trades down into an attractive valuation level. Once a name or an idea ultimately gets allocated to a work list, that's when the fundamental research really starts. That's when we begin by studying the last decade plus of historical financials, studying the industry structure, meeting with competitors, suppliers, with management teams, really any industry participant we can get in front of to better understand a business. But ultimately what we're seeking to do is price a business based off of its normalized earnings power. If it's trading at least a 25% discount to intrinsic value, then it's a candidate for purchase. And that process from idea generation up until a name is bought can take anywhere from weeks to months. It's as long as it takes for us to get comfortable before putting capital behind a name.